Welcome to the Dylan Show. What up, my people? How are y'all doing? I hope all is well and blessed with you guys. I feel good to be back. Again, I want to apologize for not being here over the last 3 weeks. Personal issues have been a factor over life, and again, it's part of life. So I appreciate you guys sticking by my side and thank you for the continued support and love. I'm doing my best to get back and not be going away until the season is finished and complete. Only 6 more episodes of season 2, then we'll be done. Hallelujah, God. Glory, all glory to God for that. We appreciate you guys for all the love and support. And let's get back to work, man. I miss you guys. I miss being on your screens. I miss you guys hearing my voice, and I miss getting to talk to people, man. I love this. 17 years old, and I've had the blessed opportunity to do this for a little over a year now. This is what I love to do. So I miss this, and I appreciate you guys for letting me come back on your TV and your phone screens, people. So first of all, let's introduce our guest, Mr. Cam Robinson. Everybody clap it up. Woo-hoo. Everybody clap it up for him. First off, Mr. Coach Robinson, how are you doing? How's life treating you right now, man? We appreciate you for being on the show, of course, as well.
Everything good on my end, man. Just got to make sure you good over there.
I'm good, man. You said what?
I said, how's your day been?
I'm good, man. I've been busy running around, trying to keep myself busy, but I'm good. I can't complain. God is treating me well right now.
All that matter.
Coach, for the listeners that may not know exactly who you are, give them a brief overview of who you are as a person and as a coach, where you're from, and the places you've been able to go to and things you've been able to do to help you get where you are today, Coach.
I got you. Cam Robinson, if you know me for a long time, I'm always going to tell you, born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, raised in Southwest Little Rock. Did my schooling in Sylvan Hills High School. Went to Arkansas State, was a student manager there for 2.5 years, and then started doing a little AAU ball, did my own little organization, and joined over with the Arkansas Wings. Now I bounced around. So first high school opportunity I got was with Southwest Christian Academy out in Little Rock, worked with the national team, where Coach Charles Baker, that's with the assistant coach at Eula right now, Arkansas Little Rock. After that season, I actually got my first opportunity to go to the college level, Central Baptist College in Conway, Arkansas. Did that for a year, helped bring his first winning program in a long time. Some things happened there. Got that next opportunity to go up to Osceola High School / junior high, where I was the assistant high school varsity coach and the head junior high coach. And Osceola's always going to have a special part in my heart. It was a situation where they made me a better man, a better coach. And so I always have a chance to talk back to those people there, real good people. And so from there, kind of had the itch to want to get back to college. And so got an opportunity to get back at Lyon College out in Batesville, but was only there for about 4 months where another opportunity came at Northeastern State University in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, Division II school. I was there for a year. Got another opportunity to go to Alcorn State University out in Mississippi, SWAC school. Mm-hmm. And then the last season I was at East Central University, where I'm at this year, going to my second season.
The point of my show is to get to know the listeners, get to know the guests and their life story. And I start off, from your childhood and get to where you are today. But I kind of want to start not in chronological order. I want to know, you've been coaching for so long. How did you get into it? What was it? Was it a mentor, or was it just something that you always thought you were good at, and it's kind of over time you fell in love with it?
It's something that since I was a kid, my uncle Bruce Robinson, Cecil Robinson, those are like my guys that I looked up to. Those are my father figures. Mm-hmm. They both were coaches. The one was on the Pee Wee level and the community level. The other one was at high school, All-Time Arkansas, All-Time High. And so, man, just looked up to them, and then it was just ingrained in me. I used to draw up plays when I was in elementary school, 2nd, 3rd grade, just drawing up, at the time, football plays and just drawing basketball courts. And so the passion came from there, and I think it was just one of those things where it's just naturally in me, where, as they say now, coaching chose me. And so it's just as I played in high school, I was like a coach on the field, a coach on the court. And, man, I gravitated to it, and I stuck with it.
Man, talking about growing up in Pine Bluff, man, and I have a lot of fun speaking with Arkansas natives. I'm a Little Rock native myself, and whenever I get a chance to sit with someone from Arkansas, it's just real fun. But talk about what was it like growing up in Pine Bluff, And also, where does your love from sports come from? Again, was it something you just picked up and you just automatically fell in love with, or was it a gradual thing over time?
I was in Pine Bluff a little bit in the '90s, and at that time, Pine Bluff was booming, and so Pee Wee sports was the thing, was the big deal. Man, the community was at an all time high, and so we moved to Southwest. Probably I moved to Little Rock around maybe third, fourth grade, something like that, and so from there, I always went back to Pine Bluff. That's why I always represent both. I always went back, and so yeah, Pine Bluff is cool, man. Still an opportunity for it to grow. They starting to build on some things now. Whenever I come home, I'm always going back to Pine Bluff. So Pine Bluff is a great place. A lot of my family that's left is still in that area, but Southwest Little Rock definitely bred me into being some of the man that I am now, Pine Bluff at the same time. And so I always represent both because both together made me the man I am right now. That's that toughness, man, determination, grind, and you can't be weak, you can't be soft coming up from them areas there. So, man, if you can make it through that type of situation and things like that, man, nothing else can really get in your way.
You talking about that. What is some advice you give as a coach that you learned from growing up in Pine Bluff and Southwest?
And stay focused because it's a lot of stuff that can kind of push you off track and get you the wrong direction. And just stay focused and stay working. Keep yourself busy. That was one thing coming up and my time. Man, we really didn't have enough time to even think about getting into other things because we went from football to basketball to football, AAU. We went out. We was outside, which, like I said, is a rarity. Not too many kids are like that outside. So we was outside. If we didn't have practice or a game, we'll wake up in the morning, go outside, walk around, play ball, play football, go swim, go play video games, and then go back outside again at night and we just stay active. And that was one thing now that we try to push kids to do now. You got a certain amount of kids that do like to be outside, but the biggest thing is just stay focused. Whatever you have a passion for, man, do your education, man, try to get out that comfort zone to where you can lock in and just keep focused on the right thing to do.
Absolutely. I really like what you just said there. Going back to growing up, man, moving to Little Rock at a young age as well, man. Talk about the culture of Little Rock, man. Was it the same thing as Pine Bluff was to you? And also, when did you kind of realize that, with the surroundings around you, man, that you could actually, become a coach at one point in your life in the city of Little Rock?
Growing up in Little Rock, man, we moved. It was Clover Valley at the time, and so we saw. My brother saw police lights all the time, every night, and so it was the deal where I had two older brothers that I grew up with, and we had each other. My mom worked a lot, and so man, we just again at that time we didn't go outside that much. It was because we was new to Little Rock, so we went from school to home, did our work, played the game, and just we was our entertainment, and so once we started getting out, because I basically grew up at McClellan High School. My mama taught there for 20 years. And so, man, she was a cheerleading coach there. So that's another thing. Coaching is just she was a cheerleading coach. And so just growing up in it and, man, wasn't really old enough to really realize how things were. But my mom did a good job of keeping my brothers on the right path and making sure that, man, we handled our business in school. We did our sports and we didn't think about wanting to do anything else. And as we got older, that mentality that she instilled in us, we stayed locked in on it. Each one of my brothers had a certain thing to where we was locked in on, and we wasn't letting anything get in the way of stopping us. And so the sports part, man, that was, again, my family is full of sports. I grew up, most of my family has nothing but boys. We got a few girls in there, but they even like sports. My mom likes sports. My cousin that we grew up with is like a sister. She's into sports. She watched it, and she was like a tomboy coming up. But, man, sports was just in her. So, man, we watched sports all day. Football, basketball, a little baseball. Even when we played video games, it was number of sports. So it was just something that was embedded in us because that's all we knew. That was something that kept us from focusing on the negativity or the ghetto. So, no, it was good, though. Like, sports is, man, it's a livelihood. It's not even a hobby. It's just a livelihood.
When I think of a coach, is not just a coach of whatever sport they are, but there is also like a parent figure in some sort. When you're with your players, you're taking care of them. I mean, you talk about your relationship with your mom and how you grew up with her. She took care of you and your boys and your siblings and your brothers, excuse me. So talk about what you learned from your mom that has helped instill you to be a better coach today.
Say it again, your phone had went out a little bit.
I'm sorry. I said, talking about your mom and she kind of helped, raise you a lot, and especially growing up in McClellan. Talk about what you learned from your mom to help become a better coach.
Just accountability and discipline. That was one thing whenever I used to go to her practices. And one, she allowed me to be around other positive role models. So at the time, Coach David Gunn was the high school football coach at McClellan. And so he allowed me to become a ball boy with the football team. So with her traveling with the cheerleading squad, I got to be with the football team doing practice and doing the game on the sideline. So I got to actually be hands-on as a fourth, fifth grader, and just watch from the outside looking in on how they handled the team and things like that. And man, just she held, even though it's cheerleading, that is a sport, they are athletes. Man, she held those young ladies accountable in the classroom and during the playing field whenever the game was going on, and made sure that they was on track. Man, just that was the biggest thing, that accountability and tough love. She was tough on us at times, and man, it paid off. And so a lot of those girls, a lot of her students that she had in her classroom, to the day she passed, man, they loved her. And it was just because she was real with them, and man, she held them accountable. And that's what any young person needs, any adult, any person, period, that's trying to be successful in life. They need somebody to hold them accountable. That's because it keeps them on track to do what they do. A lot of stuff that you're gonna hear me say is gonna be just staying on track. That's the key thing to being successful in life, is just balancing out everything and making sure that you going on the course. There's gonna be times you go right, you go left, but as long as you come back, you keeping yourself in a good situation to be successful.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that a lot. Talk about growing up, not growing up, but talking about being a part of Sylvan Hills High School. I know you mentioned that with us earlier. What was that environment like for you? Also, once you got to Sylvan Hills, what did you kind of expect life after high school to be?
That was my fault there.
Good. Can you hear me, Coach? We're having a little technical difficulties. People, deal with us. Bear with us. Hold with us. How y'all doing, man? Hope all is well with you guys. I'm getting everything figured out. I gotta see the shirts y'all like the surf say, man. Let y'all know. That's something else's story, y'all. I can't show y'all yet, though.
My fault, man. I don't know what happened with that.
Good, Coach. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you need me to restate the question?
Yeah, please do. I heard you saying something about Sylvan Hills.
Yeah, you talked to us about that's where you went to high school, man. Just talk about what was the culture like there, man. Also, what did you think life would be after high school?
I got you. So interesting thing, my homeboy Antonio Buchanan, he jokes with me a lot. I moved around a lot in high school, and so coming out of high school, I wanted to try something different. Me and a couple homeboys I went to middle school with in Mapleville. I tried out Episcopal Collegiate my ninth grade, 10th grade year. So I tried that out. It was cool, good experience. It opened my eyes to life, different part of life again. Urban kid, as most people would say, an urban kid going into a private school situation, predominantly white. As definitely was a culture shock, but it helped me better. But I didn't handle my business business in the classroom. And so at the time, we moved to North Little Rock. And so I transferred to North Little Rock for a semester. And then that's how I ended up going to Sylvan Hills. And so Sylvan Hills was cool. Like I said, it was a mixture. It was a mixture of Southwest and a little bit of Episcopal all in one, and a little bit of North Little Rock, just because that school there kind of breeds in a lot of people from different areas in Little Rock. So you got people that's from Southwest, you got people from North Little Rock, and then of course people that's from the Sherwood area. So it was cool. By then I matured a little bit more. Kind of got to embrace different type of culture, different type of people. And it was cool. It was a good experience. Good football player, solid basketball player. And I think I kind of already had planned what it is I wanted to do. So coming up, I was a football player solely. I played ball, but I was better in football. And so once I kind of got the mindset that I didn't want to pursue the college football situation, I put together a plan as far as the things I wanted to do to be a college coach. At the time, I wanted to do just pure college. And so I put together a plan, got to go to school, go to college, went to Arkansas State. And the plan was to be a manager, learn from those coaches. And then from there, just improvise and then play off of each deal that I did there.
Was Arkansas State, was it the first decision for you? Like, was that your number one choice, or did you have other options that you kind of considered, but Arkansas State was just eventually your choice?
At first, I wanted to go to Arkansas Tech badly. My brother was attending Arkansas Tech at the time. He's 4 years older than me, but he was going. But every spring break that I had in high school, I always went up to visit him for my spring break. And so that was the first campus I actually got to see. So I was like, I loved it, loved the area. Like I said, the first one you see. So any first thing that you see, you're going to fall in love with. And so at the time, once I started getting towards my senior year, man, some honestly popped in my head. I never thought about Arkansas State before. And I did some research. I had matter of fact, while I was at Episcopal, we had an assignment where we had to look for a major and then look for a school. And so I fell in love with the sports management major. And Arkansas State was the only program that had it at the time. And they was like top 10, top 5 in the country with that sports management program. And so it caught my eye and I went for it, got accepted, and the rest is history with that.
I think, transitioning from the people that I've gotten to talk to, transitioning from high school to college is, one of the most remarkable things you could do in your life. Talk about what was it like to be on your own kind of for the first time when getting to college and kind of having your responsibilities solely on you, like anything that you have to do is all about you. Talk about how the change was for you from high school to college.
Honestly, for me, it wasn't that hard just because, again, my mom worked a lot. Yeah. So she went from high school teacher and worked at a hotel as soon as she got off, or she always had like a second or third job. So, man, it was a situation where, man, she'd get home, go to sleep, wake up, go. And so I had to wake myself up. My brothers we had to kind of wake ourselves up, borderline raise ourselves to a point to where we knew if we missed school, again, she installed in us things, so we knew if we missed school, we was gonna hear from her. Yeah. And so it was just a respect factor that we knew that, man, if she found her way in at school on my end, I can't speak for my brothers. I know if she know ain't in school, and at that time I liked going to school, sports, hang out with friends and other stuff like that. So I didn't want to miss school anyway. So getting to college, it was nothing, because it was times to where I had to spend the night over my friend's house on a school night. And so you had to be responsible enough to make sure you took care of your business as far as homework and things like that. Or, like I said, if you don't handle your business, I'm going to hear it from my mom. The last thing I wanted to do was hear from her. Yeah. And so once I got to college, it was the same thing. It was just, hey, man, you know what you need to do. In the back of my mind, my mom's in the back of my head where it's like, all right, don't come back home or it's going to be a problem. And so, I took care of my business. I had my rough patches at times, yeah, but that was just part of maturing and growing up to be a man. And so it really wasn't hard at all. I knew right from wrong. Again, I knew the track. I had my plan as far as what I wanted to do, and I think that's what kind of made it easier. And I knew if I didn't go by my plan that I had, I wasn't going to do what it was I wanted to do in the long run. I wouldn't have been happy.
Man, outside of, when you weren't, in school classes or being a part of the team, what were you doing in your free time? Was it still mainly sports, or what caught your eye outside of the normal things for you?
Man, I worked out a play ball. That was the thing. We went to the Red Wolf Den, 2 o'clock. I got done with classes around like 11 or 12. Went played ball all day, and that's really just picked up experience from there. Had intramural teams on campus, and so that was one thing that I kind of did to build on my coaching. Was just working on building the intramural team, girls team, boys team, and just coach. And everything I kind of put everything to focus on getting better as a coach, because I learn more in action more than people telling me, and so I need to do it, build my own experience, build my own stories, and so I can be able to tell somebody else that's trying to go through it, man, this is a route that you might need to look at. This is how I felt when I did it. Uh, from there, so now everything was, man, sports. If it wasn't practice with the team or anything like that, or games with the team, we was playing ball, I was working out, play video games, stuff like that. Just I'm a simple dude. I
Yeah.
partied a little bit. I partied a little bit, tried to have somewhat of a college experience, but again, I'm a homebody, and so,
Mhm.
man,
I got
if it wasn't ball or hanging out with my dudes or nothing like that, I chilled in my dorm room, chilled in my apartment, man. That was it. Watch sports.
you. Sounds like me, which is why I'm laughing. Do you think you saying that? Do you think that kept you out of a lot of trouble and kept you out of a lot of things that most kids probably at your age probably wouldn't have been caught out of if they were, out partying, doing other things such?
A little bit. You can still get in trouble at home. Like sometimes the trouble can come to you, and stuff can happen from there. And so it really, I was self conscious enough to know right from wrong and not to do nothing crazy. But it was that my personality just really wasn't to get amped up or anything like that. So parties really didn't do it for me. I chill on the wall, maybe entertain some stuff here and there, but other than that, and that's my personality. And like I said, I didn't come from a go out party type family as much. Like I said, we dabbled with stuff, but that was my family. We was a party. It's just we entertained each other, and so that's how I was. I entertained myself at home.
Talk about the experience of being a student manager at ASU, man. I know that was quite exciting. And what did you get to learn that has helped you become the man you are today?
I learned a lot of things from behind the scenes. A lot of stuff that people see like on ESPN and things like that. As they only probably get a little percentage of what really happened. Like just learn more of the college business, uh, learned a little bit more like just from the other coaches. Like a lot of people that become managers, they think, oh, okay, I need to get close to the head coach. And all reality, man, you really gonna learn a lot more from the assistants, because those are gonna be the ones that put in the time and actually build a relationship with you a little bit more. There's some head coaches out there that let you come sit down with them at an office and talk to them and ask questions. But for most parts, and I've seen just going to different schools, man, you really just learn a lot from those assistants and learn different stories and, man, how to handle business. And so, and really just learn how the college business is at the end of the day.
Man, talk about what was a daily schedule like for you in college? What time did you get up? Did you have morning or afternoon classes, and when were practices like within your schedules?
So, college level, especially, A State is a mid major D1 school. So, man, the practices vary. So, I was a morning guy. So, I like to get myself over with in the morning so I can have the rest of the day to do what I want. And so morning time, probably had an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock class and probably be done by 11 or 12. Practice is usually around 2, 3 o'clock. So for a manager, man, we had to be in that thing probably an hour or so beforehand just to set up everything. And then after that, you stay, practice go from about 2 hours. So whenever practice is over with, you stay around for another hour or so. Players might need to get some extra shots, so got to do some laundry, got to do some extra stuff afterwards just to prepare for the next day. And so that was pretty much it. After that, uh, went to the cafeteria, got something to eat. And if it was some time, if I didn't have any homework, go to the gym, play some ball, try to do something enjoyable, and then go to my room and just relax. That was it. Like that was pretty much it every day. It was gym, cafeteria, gym, dorm room, gym. I stayed in the gym because again, we had intramural, so I played intramural football, intramural basketball, just man, being a college kid for the most part, trying to build an experience and try to learn some things again. And all through high school, I kind of stayed in the crib a lot, so I missed out on some opportunities and some experiences. So going to college, just trying to figure some stuff out, build some stories.
After you graduate college, what was the immediate thought for you? First of all, how did you even get involved with coaching after college? How was it? Were you approached, or did you have to kind of put your name out there? And if so, how did you get your name out to schools?
Well, first thing, and you'll figure it out once you graduate college, and you'll hear from different people. As soon as they say your name, across that stage, as soon as you walk past that person, everything gets quiet. It's like a movie. It's like a movie scene. It's just like, all right, what's next? Even though you might have some plan to do, it's like, what's next? Because it's time to be a man now. And so my coaching opportunity, man, it was just something I just made out. And so my homeboy, Antonio Buchanan, and then Ray Kimbrough, he's South, and to me, he's a Southwest legend. He actually works at Southwest Community Center. He had the Southwest Little Rock Bulls. I played for him as a kid, middle school, high school, and man, he had a team that year. And me and Antonio, we went and coached it throughout the summer, grinded out all through the week, AAU tournaments and stuff like that. And we did that for a year. And then I always have just like a leadership, do my type thing. And so after that, I did that with 2 summers with them, and great time, great kids. A lot of those kids now are playing D1 ball, whether it's football or basketball. But great kids, they really helped me out as well. Helped me mold into a better man and a better person. I end up doing my own AAU situation 2 summers later. Arkansas Spurs. Good. It's a funny situation, but it was a good situation. It allowed me to manage teams, budget, worked on some stuff, building a team, dealing with people, then just being a people person. And then the most important part is just being a role model to kids, even though at the time I was 23, 24, just trying to be a positive role model and positive example to a lot of those kids, because I had kids from Pine Bluff, and so understanding where they came from. At a young age, I was still trying to be a father figure to them because some didn't have one. And so just trying to build experience from that and grow from it and try to use it to get me closer to getting to the college level. Because again, all that was part of the plan that I put together coming out of high school. Be a student manager, become an AAU coach, learn, build from it, and it'll connect me with other college coaches. And then from there, try to maneuver my way and work to get into where I'm at right now.
Coach, what advice would you give to young people that are trying to become a coach of any sort? What advice would you give to them? And also, what advice would you give for adversity to kind of keep going no matter what? What advice would you give for that as well?
Pick up all the little experience that you can. So working camps, working Pee-wee. Matter of fact, I did Pee-wee football in Pine Bluff. Like every summer before I went back home and then went back to college, my cousins them had a Pee-wee football team. So again, like I said, coaching. Everybody in my family coached. So Pine Bluff Titans, everybody, they had a team, and I always went back and I coached with them. Did the Southwest Bulls thing. So just picking up experience, working camps, whether it's a big name camp or a small camp, at the end of the day, you impacting lives and you build an experience and you build a relationship with people, because you never know what that kid might end up doing, what a person that's putting together that camp end up doing. And so, man, you just pick up the experience, and then when adversity comes, take it and just keep going, because more adversity going to come if you let one situation, big or small, take you out. Then, man, you really wasn't tough enough to do it, and you're not going to be able to handle what comes after that, because the higher level you go, more experience you put in, it's going to get tougher. So you just got to be able to chew it up and keep moving.
I like that advice. I could really hear that rough edge that you give right there. So talk about.
And matter of fact, I don't mean to cut you off. You're doing it. Like you're the prime example of it right now. Like
Appreciate
everybody, I got to get to college, or I got to get out of college to be able to do it now. Start your own situation. Again, you got your own platform. You starting it now. So by the time it's time for you to do something bigger on radio show, on TV show. Man, your resume is gonna be crazy. Your experience is gonna be crazy because you set the initiative and just said, man, let me take this risk and go on my own and do my own thing. And from there, the thing's gonna blow up. I'm gonna be wearing that shirt one day.
I appreciate that, and you know, I have many reasons for why I started the show, but that was one of them. To have something of your own, man, and you know, I mean, I have no problem. I'm not judging anyone for doing working under other people, because again, we all have our different paths, but that's just not something I wanted to do. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to do my own thing, and so I thought it was predominantly better for me to start. And I already knew what I wanted to do. I've been knowing what I wanted to do since a young age, and just taking over with it. It's just been fun. So I appreciate that. Talk about the Wings, man. I as an Arkansas native, we all have different teams we look at, but I think the Wings or the Woods, whatever, that's the top team in the state. Talk about how you got involved with them, and also what's that experience been like, man? I know it's fun traveling around the country, and I know Peach Jam. Talk about that experience and how fun has that been?
Well, man, it was coming up like whether you were Arkansas Hawks person or anything like that. If you got with the Arkansas Wings as a basketball player or as a coach, man, you somewhat made it. Because that was especially me coming up in middle school and stuff like that. That was a big deal. You had friends or teammates that played for the Wings, and they missed school on Friday because they flying out to an AU tournament, or they got the nice Nike shoes and stuff like that. So, man, that was a big deal. And so even coming on as a coach, man, you understood that you finna be a part of something big. You're gonna get to coach the best players, you're gonna get to go to the best tournaments, and man, it's gonna set you up for, if you do everything right, set you up for the next level, because everything you're doing is either college like or pro like. And everybody, it's a nationwide respect there. If you go out to New York, if you go out to California, you go out to Georgia, and you say, "Oh yeah, I'm with Arkansas Wings," they gonna know what you're talking about. You like, you know about this? We're in Arkansas. You got bigger programs, but it's such a respected program that, man, people know what it is. And so how I got in, like I said, when I got with Southwest Christian Academy, Charles Baker was the head coach there, and he also was the head coach at one of the AAU teams. And again, Antonio Buchanan, one of my guys, he has his own deal, Buchanan mentality. He was a situation where he was with them, and they had some open slots where they could use some guys. And he kind of opened the way, introduced me to Baker, introduced me to Ron Crawford. And I guess I did a good job at Southwest Christian with Baker. And he put me on his staff in the summertime, 16U team. And so, man, just built with it from there, and was with him for a few summers. Got to be on the EYBL stage. It's crazy now because a lot of kids, we actually get to play Arkansas this year. And so I got the opportunity to coach Devo Davis, KK Robinson, and knew those guys since they was in middle school. And so coaching them, training them, anything like that from camps and stuff like that. But, man, just getting to be a part of situations like that. And, man, it was kind of a shoe-in, a situation that helped me get to the college level, just because they understood that we've been around great players, been around a great situation. So it just prepped me for that.
Talk about what it's like to see players like that you kind of knew at a young age and are now growing up and, reaching that D1 and hopefully that league or level. Talk about how like kind of like it's storming is that for you to kind of see them grow up?
It's scary. I just talked about that with one of my friends the other day. Like, I'm looking on social media and I'm seeing one of my players, happy birthday, he's 22 years old. I'm like, God, dog, happy birthday, 23 years old. Oh, he just had a kid. I'm like, gosh, dog, man, like it's scary, but it's part of life. And so I'm just happy that a lot of those players that I got to work with are becoming either great student athletes on the college level or great men in life. And so not too many players that I've dealt with have done anything negative or anything like that. Some have passed away, but that's part of life. But to answer your question, it's just, man, it's crazy getting old. So I tell you, like I tell a lot of people, enjoy being young, because man, as you start getting older, it's a weird feeling.
Coach, talk about your first kind of collegiate experience, man. I know you got a chance to kind of be an assistant head coach and a JV coach as well. Talk about that experience, and also what were some of the differences you saw from high school and D1 basketball?
Speed of the game. So answer the first part, man, it was crazy. My first game, and I've never told nobody this. My first game at Central Baptist College, we played John Brown University. And so again, my mom had passed probably a couple of years before that. And so it was one of those deals where I was like, all right, what I've been working for this whole time, I'm here. And so I kind of dropped a little tear just because I'm like, I know she would have been proud of me. And so once I got that situation there, it was surreal. But after that, man, it was just from high school to even I wouldn't even say D1, just college ball, period. The speed of the game is so much quicker, so much better. The knowledge of the game, like it's little stuff that a lot of players, a lot of student athletes don't really understand. I even say parents don't understand the gap between high school ball and college ball. Like it's the little stuff. It's a little, and that's one thing I preach, whether it's training or coaching. It's the little stuff, like being able to use your opposite hand. So if you're right-handed, being able to use your left hand, because that's going to open up more of an opportunity for you to either get a pass off, a shot off, or help your team win. And so just focusing on those little details, like stuff that some coaches, high school or college level, no matter, they will kind of poo-poo over those small things. But if you ever have a conversation with a great head coach or a head coach that's been in it for a long time, the attention to details on those little small things, like, man, you take one step over to the right. Man, if you don't take that one step over to the right, that can cause you a game. And on the high school level, it's not really emphasized as much. Some because of the lack of knowing, and then some is just, man, some don't think it's as important. Once the higher levels that you get, man, if you're not over there in 0.2 seconds, that 0.2 seconds can win or lose you a game, win or lose you a championship. And so those are the biggest differences there, is just the detail, the small things, the extra work being put in. I always tell to players and former and spots I've coached there before, like the practicing and the workouts that you put in with the coach, that's mandatory. The voluntary work is what's going to get you there. To come into the gym early in the morning or late at night on your own without anybody having to tell you, those are the things that's going to get you better as a player. Just because, man, that's some people that once they get done practice, all right, I'm done for the day, I've got better. But you really have.
You saying that made me think of Kobe Bryant's mentality, and I say that because my next question is: growing up or even now, were there any players or coaches that you kind of idolize and you kind of work your way off some of the things that they learned and talked about?
Yeah, well, my brother is a big Kobe Bryant fan. I didn't start really appreciating him till his later years, just because I didn't like him because my brother liked him. But of course, everybody's gonna say Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal's mentality of how he dominated the game. He kept it simple. He was one that he scored 40 points and they was all the same way, dunks. And so other coaches, and a lot of people would say the Phil Jacksons and things like that. I like coaches like Rick Carlisle, Rick Adelman. Rick Adelman coached the Sacramento Kings when they had Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, Vlade Divac, because he ran a system that got everybody involved. There was more of a team-oriented deal. Rick Carlisle, he did a lot with little. He had Dirk Nowitzki on his team to win that championship team, but outside of that, he had a bunch of role players. He didn't have too many all-stars. And so for them to come and beat a big three like LeBron James, Of course, you got the John Thompsons in the world that was just they held their players accountable and made them better men off the floor, and to where, man, some players had them at their Hall of Fame introduction. That's because he held an impact on them. Man, that was kind of it. A lot of guys that I do like aren't big name guys. It's not the obvious ones that people like to go to because you can see it. Like
Yeah.
it's just smaller things. Like I appreciate greatness. I say that. I appreciate greatness. So a lot of stuff that I look at is from the outside, how people run their organizations, things like that. So no, a poo-poo type answer, but that's a real deal on my end.
Going to your experience at Alcorn State, man, I know that had to be a lot of fun and kind of getting onto a little bit of a bigger stage now. Was there any more pressure being at Alcorn State than there was at previous jobs? And if so, how did you handle it?
A little bit. Not really being known with the other staff members. I was cool with the head coach there. I was cool with one of the assistants there, but didn't know any of the other guys. And so just trying to prove yourself, what you have to do anywhere you go. But I like challenges. I embrace it. And so, man, I just went there and did my thing. I didn't try to do too much. I did what I knew I was good at. And from time to time, took the initiative and worked out a player here or there. Man, took certain assignments that I maybe wasn't good at, but it got me better, learned it. I knew it was going to help the program out, and it was going to help me out at the same time because, again, anybody that says I'm not in it for any type of recognition is lying. And so any situation that I knew would help me look better in front of the coach, help me look better in front of the team, get those players respect, man, I did it. Oh, you want to get a 6 a.m. workout in? Let's make it happen. Oh, you want an 8 a.m. workout? Like an 8 p.m. workout? Let's make it happen. So, man, sometimes I had to play with the team. Like my first 2 weeks there, because some of the players wasn't all the way in, wasn't back yet. I had to play with the team some. And so, man, showing them that I could play a little bit and hold my own, I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll listen to him a little bit just because he's showing us on the court. So, man, so the answer to your question wasn't too much pressure. I like pressure anyway. I embrace it. And so it was cool, just an experience to where I'm trying to learn. It was a new situation, different type of environment that I've been through before, and just making the best out of it.
In your own mind, what do you think makes you different from other coaches? What makes you stand out than other coaches?
I don't want to make myself sound like I'm all this, all that, but I got, I guess, a different type of determination. I don't mind doing the small things. Again, I've taken some board job roles before just to get my foot in, and so I've had to do laundry as an assistant coach before. Man, I don't mind. I'm trying to get the job done. At the end of the day, I'm trying to gain experience. I'm trying to impact these young fellas' life, and I'm trying to win. And I'm trying to better my situation for the future. And so whatever it is I need to do to make a situation better, I'm gonna do it. And so again, I went from Lorman, Mississippi. I went from Tahlequah, Oklahoma, Osceola, Arkansas. I don't mind moving. And so, man, if anything, I just say, man, I'm down to do anything. And so not too many coaches are there say it, but not too many are. I know a lot that has, but to answer your question, man, and to sound humble as possible, because I'm not an arrogant dude at all, I'll just say my type of determination is probably different than a lot of people.
Coach, go into your time now where you're at, man, now today at East Central University. First off, how'd you get involved there? And, man, how the past 2 years been for you? And has it been everything you wished and hoped it to be?
It's been different. My head coach at the time at Alcorn State was cool with the head coach that was here last year, Chris Crutchfield, that's now at the University of Oregon. The biggest thing another thing I'll probably say, probably to piggyback off another question that you asked before, make sure you always network with people. Network, because I actually met Coach Crutchfield on a recruiting trip. We were both at a JUCO practice, and it's all about who you know. You can be have the greatest talent in the world, but if you don't have the connections to move to that next spot, you're just gonna be a dude with great talent, a person with great talent. And so it's good to network and get to know people. And there was a situation, some stuff happened at Alcorn with the program. And so my coach at Alcorn, Coach Crutchfield here at East Central, they knew each other. Coach Williams, that's at Texas Tech, and now he's at Arkansas. They're best friends with each other, and they vouched for me to come here. And it was a situation where I wasn't expecting to be here this long, even though it was just 2 years. I've never been at a spot more than a year. I've always hopped from job to job, just trying to pick up different experiences and opportunities. And so it was a little different. Never been to this part of Oklahoma before, but it's been cool. Had a solid year. Kind of proved some people wrong. Had us as underdog situations. So now having a bigger role this year since Coach Crutchfield left, man, just trying to build a respectable program, a competitive program, and man, as usual, just trying to put these young men in a situation where they can be better on and off the floor.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot with this question. You don't have to answer, but it's where you are today. Is this the end goal for you, or do you want to reach higher pastures? I know some people just kind of don't like to answer that.
No, it ain't the end goal. The end goal is to be a head coach. I would like for it to be on the college level, but like I said, the end goal is to be a head coach. Right now, I'm worrying about right now. I know that's why a lot of people don't really answer that question, because you want to take care of right now, but you also want to speak what you want to do down the line, put it in the air, because you want to inspire people. Some people kind of have a mindset of settling, and so if certain people hear that, they're like, "Well, he's happy there, but why do you need to move?" So, no, the end goal is to be a head coach. If it's here in the future, whether I have to leave and come back, cool. But no, the goal is to be a college head coach. Honestly, be a high school head coach. I just want to be a head coach. I have some leadership qualities that I want to share with my own situation. But right now, I'm happy with the situation I'm in now. I'm enjoying it. Look forward to the season, and man, hey, that's what it is.
I want to ask you this before I forget, and I meant to ask you earlier, and it's something that I talk about all the time, and it's one of the biggest things is film. And I just want to know how much time you as a coach spend watching film, because, and I talk about this all the time. It's one of the most important things to me, whether you're in sports or anything, to just kind of watch and learn. So how much time do you spend watching film, and also what have you learned from it that has helped you get where you are today?
I watch a lot of it. It varies the time of the year. Some in the summertime, I'll watch a lot, just trying to look at things from last season, what you could have did better. Look at other program situations in there as the season started getting going. Started watching a lot of it. Like right now, I'm trying to get a head start on a couple teams that we play to start out the season. So right now, I'm watching a lot of film in the office, just early morning and then mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
And I really don't get as much, but like I said, we actually have a scrimmage next Sunday. So this weekend, I'll be watching a lot of it, like just trying to get ahead of the game. So as we start getting closer, don't have to rush and cram. So I watch, when the season, I'll give you an example. The season ends here on a home game. The game ends at maybe 9, 10 o'clock. I'll stay at the office, bring my dinner with me, eat, and I probably won't leave till about 2 or 3 in the morning. Come back around 6, 7 in the morning and watch some more film just to get ready for the next game, or go back and look at what is it that I missed. And so each year I've gotten better with watching film, just because you start, again, paying attention to the little details. And actually, the year I was at Alcorn, it got me better, just because he put me over video coordinator for that year. And so I'm thinking about, as the game is going on, I'm thinking about, all right, this is something I could talk about at film, whether we win or lose. This helped us win, or this helped us lose. And so I'm brainstorming, I'm going back and watching film on my way back to the school. And so once I get into the office, I already know, all right, boom, 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 I need to worry about this, show the players that, and just got more organized with it. And so with the technology on the college level, you have a little bit more technology. And so it's able to break down things even more to where you can pay attention and focus on a lot of little stuff. So, man, watch a lot of film. Watch a lot of film. A lot of film. Even if it's not just your school, it might be the individual player workout or a team practice or a team workout, but it's film being watched every day, all day long.
Coach, one of the biggest things for me is leaving a legacy behind, and kind of what you want to be remembered for. So, like, once you're gone, what do you want to be remembered for, and what is the legacy you want to be leave behind? What do you want to be? What do you want others to know about you that maybe they didn't know about you?
I left it all out there. That's one thing about I'm a risk taker. Every opportunity that was needed to be taken, I took it, no matter what the pay situation was. I did right by people. I worked hard. Good people person, and man, I'm a family guy. I made sure that I always spent time with my family, and I like to make other people happy. Like if other people happy that I deal with, then I'm good. And so, man, that's pretty much it. Just took risks, lived life, and just went from there.
Appreciate that. We wish you nothing but the best for the season. We're going to be keeping in contact with you. So please stay aware. And we appreciate you for taking the time out your schedule to come talk with me. It means a lot. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing that, because you don't have to do what you're doing. So I thank you very much for doing it. And any shout outs you want to give to anybody, man?
First off, I appreciate it. Again, I'm a big fan. When I first heard about this platform that you was doing, as you saw, I followed you real quick and just started seeing what you was doing, because not too many 17-year-olds are waking up and saying, let me start my own podcast and it'd be good and it makes sense. And so, man, first off, keep doing what you're doing and grow from it. If there's anything I can do to help out with it, whatever, man, I'm all for it. I got you back with that. But man, now just shout out my people. I told him I was gonna do it. He didn't think I was. Marcus Adams, that's my guy. That's actually somebody you need to talk to. He's a head coach at Washington Chapel High School. He's been through it a lot. He's worked with a lot of big time players, worked in some big time programs, and so man, that's my guy there. Of course, Antonio Buchanan, Arkansas. Period. I'm an Arkansas guy. So anything Arkansas, I'm all for it. So, man, keep doing your thing, keep representing your family, keep representing the state, the city, and man, keep blowing it up. You're gonna be on this TV right now. You're gonna be on this TV screen one day.
I appreciate that. Coach, any social medias that you're willing to put out that people can reach you on?
Yeah, I've got my Twitter one. That's one I'm probably on the most, which is I don't even know about her. I think it's like Coach_CBR2.
I'll tag it in there.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's one. And then of course I got a very common name. So if you're on Facebook, and my whole name, Cameron Robinson, is on there. So man, that's pretty much. I don't do the Snapchats or the TikTok. So no, I keep it simple and basic.
Well, thank you, Coach, for spending some time with me here today. It really means a lot, and let's keep in contact. Thank you guys for tuning in for this episode. I had a lot